Lucas, so you've been at Berkeley for 2 years now, and I take it you've learned some incredible musical instruction?
Yeah, I've learned a little bit. What'd you learn in college?
My main thing I learned was that doing a girl's homework for her is not going to turn out how you think it's going to turn out. 2, 3, 4! Amazing! Sounds great. So you
Thank
just
you.
taught me how to play this.
Yeah.
I had no idea what this is. You learned this at Berkeley.
Yep, I did.
And this is an incredibly teachable moment that I just learned a lot just from my guy here just showing me what's up.
Yeah.
So what is this? What do we got here?
So this is a Charlie Christian song called 7 Come 11.
Okay.
It came out in like the mid 40s, and he played it with the Benny Goodman sextet.
There we go.
That's 6.
That's a lot.
Yep.
I feel like it's probably 2 more than necessary.
Yeah,
But
probably.
whatever. They did things differently back in the 40s,
They did.
I guess.
They did.
All right, and why do you think this is an awesome song for people to learn?
So I think this is an awesome song for people to learn because, at least for me, it was a good introduction to the world of jazz. We have some cool chord changes that you guys have probably heard of the common 2-5-1.
Right.
And that's really what the A section revolves around. So we go from A flat major 7.
My favorite chord.
Yep.
The 1 chord is the major 7 chord is always the best.
Yeah.
So really it's just the 4th fret on the low E string with the pointer finger, I'm skipping the A string, and then I got 5 on D and G, and then 4 on B.
Yep.
All right, so there's our 1 chord.
Yeah, so that's our 1 chord. Mm-hmm. And then we're hitting the 2, which is B flat minor 7.
Or minor 11.
Or, yeah.
If you're a man of distinguished taste.
If you're a man of distinguished taste, you can get that.
Yep, so again, minor 7, B flat minor 7 would just be the 6th fret, kind of all the way down the line. I like having 6E, skip the A string, 6D, 6G, and then 4B. And then that goes to the 5 chord.
Yep, and then for the 5, we're just playing a good old E flat 7.
Gotta love it.
Yep.
Yeah, and again, however you want to play it. Like you do it the gentleman's way.
Yeah,
Right? I kind of get that dirty 9.
Oh, yeah.
That dirty 9 way.
That's a good one.
I go 6A, 5D, and then 6 all the way down the
Yeah.
line. So that's the first part.
Yeah, so that's the first part, and the melody, which is going, that's all right out of your major pentatonic, right out of this shape, so right out of there.
Yeah, so a very simple kind of melody.
Yeah.
But it sounds slippery.
Yep, very
Right?
slippery.
So I'll do it a little slower. I'll play the chords and you'll play the
Okay,
melody.
sounds
All right.
good.
2, 3, 4. Great. Super easy. So can you tell us the frets that are
So
there?
we're on the G string, and we're just going to be going from 4 to 5, hammer on.
Easy enough, right?
Yep. And then we're just going to hit the B string on the 4th fret.
Cool.
That's a E flat. And we're just going to bounce between this C and this E flat. E flat, F.
There we go.
And then we repeat that.
Yeah, and that's basically somewhat of like a chord tone way to just play
Yeah.
that chord, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Tone sounds great, by the way, my man.
Thank you.
What kind of guitar is this?
So this is my 1965 Jazzmaster.
Oh, man.
I love this guitar. It has lots of vibe.
So much vibe. Tone
Um,
sounds great because we're going through a Sonicake tone group pedal.
We are.
So it's amazing. Sonicake sponsors this video. Check out this pedal. So here, real quick, this is like a EQ pedal that you can really just dial in however you want.
Yeah.
So can you play the chords with and without the pedal engaged?
Yeah, so I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna turn this off here, and this is the sound. So it
Sounds good.
It's a good sound, but it's a little bit sterile, I would say. So then if I just engage this right here.
And the way you set it up, I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. So you boosted a little bit of the lows, took out some of the lows and those low mids.
Yeah.
And then just kind of got a little bit more high end.
So I kind of I definitely I boosted the very low frequencies to give it some body, right? And then I cut the low mids, and then boosted the high mids, and that just gives it a nice kind of like sparkly crunch.
And especially when you're playing with an acoustic guitar player, my acoustic guitar is kind of like, I can't do really much about the EQ for this. So I'm hogging all the low mids.
Yeah.
So that's why I think it sounds good together. That's why it's cool to have a pedal like this, because if you're playing electric and acoustic, you can maybe just real duck out of the way of the acoustic player or whatever else you're doing.
Yeah. So it's a good thing to turn off and on, especially if you want to cut, like you said, you want to cut through the mix in certain sections.
There you go.
It's at your disposal. So.
Thank you to Sonicake for sending that pedal over. Let's talk more about the song here.
Yes.
So that's basically the form 1, the A section, where it's just a 1 chord, and then 1, 2, 5, and you could generally just do that all day and all night.
Oh, definitely. Definitely, you could.
But what's special about the song is how it kind of switches.
Yeah, so what's really cool about this song is when it goes to the B section, it does this thing called rhythm changes. And basically what that is it's where you take dominant 7th chords and you move them in fourths.
Okay.
So in this case, we start on a G7, which is right here.
Yep.
So I just have, and I'm playing these kind of like smaller voicings. So I have my first finger, 3rd fret, low E string, middle finger, 3rd fret, D string, and then ring finger, 4th fret, G string.
There we go.
Right here, so it's just 3 notes.
Yeah, it's like a shallow voicing, leaving the 5th out, essentially. Right? Just getting the good stuff.
Yep. So we're gonna go G7, and then we're gonna go to C7.
And then 4th G, A, B, C.
Yep.
Okay.
And then a 4th away from C.
F.
And then we're gonna take it up to B flat.
Yep.
And then E flat, and that takes us back to the A section.
There we go. So the interesting thing that when you first showed me this, I was like, oh, this is really cool because it's got like these extended jazz chords that I really like in my own style.
Yeah.
But it also goes back and forth between that and a very bluesy way of just playing dominant 7th chords for all the chords, but then having them move, like you said, in fourths. That is just kind of like an easy way to remember.
Yeah.
Right? And then the music theory part of this is like when you get to the 5 of the original 2-5-1, that's where you kind of pivot and go back into jazz land.
Brings you right back to that A section super nicely.
There you go. So let's do it. Let's do it again.
Okay.
And then just, keep an eye out for when we make the changes and just how it sounds different from like a jazz, major 7, minor 11, 9 chord, just straight blues,
super
kind of like a
bluesy.
slippery way.
Yeah.
2, 3, 4. Amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds great, dude. So here's the question. What do you play... If I'm playing all the 7th chords, what are you doing as like a lead part?
Okay, so that's kind of the tricky thing is over this B section, you do have to follow the chord changes a little bit.
Right.
If you stay so in the A section, we're doing very much F minor pentatonic, relative minor.
Yes, exactly.
Of A flat. Major.
Everyone's favorite. Just jam out. You can just sit there forever. It's always going to sound good.
3 frets down. But then once we go to the B section, we kind of do have to follow the chords, or else it will sound a little bit too jazzy.
Sure, because if you just sit in one spot and everything else is moving in fourths, because as soon as you get to like the next fourth, especially with dominant 7 chords, there's going to be a lot of dissonance anyway. And by the time you get to that fourth, it's like, well, this is a totally different key anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's actually why this is a really great song for just learning, is because you have the comfort of being able to just chill minor pentatonic, in the first part.
Yeah.
And then you actually have to think, okay, now this is moving. How am I going to move with it?
Yeah. And the best way to move with it is to see these chord shapes. So on the G7, you guys all know it's your standard bar chord. Take the pinky off.
There you go. Yeah.
That gives you a 7th chord. And I view it as like, I take these upper structures. This is a triad right here.
Yep.
And I'm really just viewing this. You can hit that right there.
Okay.
So that's for over the G7.
So here, I'll play the G7. I'll just vamp on it,
Okay.
and then you do some stuff like
Cool.
that. Nice.
Yeah.
So you're kind of anchoring what you're thinking of just on the 3rd fret. Is that like triad
Yep.
type thing, and everything's coming
Triad
from there? Would you say?
Yep, everything's coming from there.
Okay.
And then the same thing goes for when we go to the C7 right here. I'm kind of viewing it out of this bar chord shape. This is the A shape.
Right.
And I'm looking at this upper structure right here.
Okay.
So in that one, I went up, so I started in this shape down here, and I went up to this C shape
Which
right
is the
here.
original one for the G that he
Yeah.
was playing on.
Yep.
And then, so this is interesting because you're staying in the same vicinity, fretboard-wise,
Yep.
when you go from that G to C. But then you work your way down into that C triad
Yeah.
and kind of do some of the same licks for the
Yeah,
first one.
exactly.
right?
So it goes to show that whatever licks you learn in any of these triad shapes, whether it be, kind of this one or this one, you can move them to any key and you can really follow the chord changes there.
Yeah, that's actually great advice because it's great to learn a bunch of licks off of one triad shape.
Yeah.
But then learn one that's right next to it. So again, however you look at that, I even though I always think of these as low E string rooted ones, even though the low and the high E string are the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always think of that
Right.
kind of thing as like, okay, there's my G major shape, but then the 4th right down I think is like a great kind of way to do it.
So then when we go to the F7, I'm looking at it from this shape right here, and we have the same thing we did on the G, just a whole step down. So we're just hitting that shape right there.
Nice.
Yeah, super easy.
And then B flat.
And then B flat, we do the exact same thing. E flat.
Yeah, and then that E flat is really kind of like, it doesn't hang there as much.
Yeah, so
That's more just setting yourself up to get.
the B flat and the E flat, they kind of share a bar. That's just a setup. We go to the B flat, and then you really don't even have to solo over the E flat. You can just hit a triad. So if I go to the B flat, I can go, and then I can go
Perfect.
back to A flat.
When in doubt, if you're trying to, because again, I think you'll agree, the hard part of thinking of quicker changes is like, oh, I got to think in real time.
Yeah.
Right?
And they're moving. And
Yes.
it's-
That's
yeah.
why tried and true triads every time when you're thinking about
Learn
that.
your triads.
Always.
Definitely.
That's what it's
Like
all about.
All the way up the neck. Learn them up and down the neck,
You've always got somewhere to go.
Yep.
I think that's the most important
no
part.
matter where you are.
All right, so let's just kind of show them an example of you just playing those. I'll play the 7th chords.
Okay.
We won't go back. Let's just kind of just stay on the
The
G,
A section.
or the B section.
Okay.
Right? So the G. All right, so like I'll start
Cool.
on G7. 1, 2, 3, 4, G. C. F. B flat. And let's go back to G. G. So you could hang there. C. F. B flat. And then E. Flat. And then we're home. Nice, man. Dude, it sounded great.
Thank you.
So that was a flawless demonstration from my guy here. Just kind of going back and through and just really just explaining exactly what he told you he was going to do. You guys saw it, and now they only have one thing left to do. You know what that is?
What's that?
Go follow him on Instagram.
Oh.
Come on, you got to show my guy some love. We got to get him back on the channel, huh?
Yep.
Love this guy. The energy. Come on, this energy.
Thank you.
This is
And
what it's about.
Thank you, Sean.
Dude, always happy to help out. If you guys have questions about the guitar too, that's a sick guitar.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do a separate video on that.
Definitely.
Just the guitar.
Yeah,
player.
just like a demo type thing.
I've been trying to find my my inner jazz master vibe.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a tough guitar to kind of pull off.
Yeah.
It's a weird guitar. It definitely sounds different than its own thing. It's not like a Stratocaster. It's not like a Telecaster.
It is its own thing, for sure.
It's definitely its own thing, and it's a little bit of a bigger body. It's pretty cool.
Whatever though, it helps.
Yeah.
Sounds great through that Sonicake pedal.
Yep,
Tell you
it
that
did.
much.
It did. Thank you so much to Sonicake and
For sending over. There'll be a link in the description
the
for that
Tone
too.
Group.
So follow my guy on Insta. Get yourself a Sonicake pedal, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, guys.